the Land Trust is a nonprofit organization, and they provide affordable home ownership opportunities, usually in areas that are gentrifying and seeing rapidly increasing home costs. So they prevent displacement by providing affordable ways for people to stay in their community as housing costs are rising. And they allow access to home ownership to people who otherwise wouldn't be able to afford it. And the way they do that is a land trust will acquire land. Sometimes local government donates land. It could be a local church or congregation that has unused or underutilized land that it could donate to a land trust or work with a land trust to create homes on that land. So the land trust then builds the homes and sells them for affordable prices to lower moderate income homeowners. And that homeowner owns the home like any other homeowner, but they get it for an affordable price because in the transaction, the land trust retains ownership of the land underneath the home. They just sell the house. The rapidly increasing cost of land is one of the reasons for the rapidly increasing cost of housing, one of the primary reasons. So when you take the cost of land out of the cost of that house, it's a lot more affordable. So the homeowner owns that home like any other homeowner. They get it for an affordable price, and when they want to sell the home, they agree to adhere to a maximum resale price that the land trust establishes to ensure that the home is affordable to the next home buyer. It's one of the only ways to create permanently affordable home ownership opportunities without resubsidizing at every sale to bring the cost back down. Now, the one drawback is that those homeowners, when they sell the home, they don't earn the full equity that they would if they sold it at market rate, which is a drawback, but they do often earn enough equity to be able to afford another home somewhere else or in the same community. So it is a limited equity arrangement. That's why it's one of many strategies in the toolbox to help create home ownership opportunities. And the families who get into land trust homes, they wouldn't be able to get into a market rate home without a limited equity arrangement. So it's a way to get them a foot in the door into the home ownership experience. So there's over 300 communities around the country with a land trust. We wrote about one in Durham, North Carolina, that started when a group of residents of a lower income African American neighborhood just started talking to each other about what they wanted to see differently in their community. And they started by identifying that they wanted a park. There wasn't a safe place for kids to play. They were playing in the streets. And so they advocated that the city turn a vacant lot into a park, and they won, and that got them excited and interested. What else can we do? And at the time, their neighborhood was gentrifying. They were near Duke University. Prices were rising as Duke was expanding enrollment. So they learned about the land trust model, and they started one, and they started with 2 homes that they actually, I think, crowdfunded donations to buy that land from the city. They built these 2 homes, and they sold them at affordable prices. They sold them at the time about $100,000 in today's money. And now their homes, they have over 300 properties all around the city of Durham, both rental and home ownership. Their homes now sell for $150,000, so slightly less affordable than when they started, but the homes in the surrounding neighborhood sell for $500,000. So a lot more affordable than the market rate homes. So again, an example of what you can do just when you start talking to your neighbors and learn about the ways out there of creating change in your own community. So land trust, a great example. What we can do with that example is finding out if there's a land trust in our community and support it with resources, time, or help ensure that that land trust can expand its portfolio of homes by having access to more land. We can do that by advocating that the local government where we live donate some of its unused land to a land trust. Local governments all over the country in all kinds of communities are sitting on vacant or unused land, and they could donate just a part of that to a land trust to build affordable home ownership opportunities in those communities. Churches, congregations with underused land can do the same. We can also go back to those restrictive covenants I talked about earlier. Those restrictive covenants, again, no longer legally enforceable, but they're in the public official record of that home. And those covenants, along with saying that the home can only ever be owned or occupied by whites, also list the companies that were involved, with building and selling that home when it was first sold. So the builder, the developer, the realtor, the bank that first financed the home. Oftentimes, and we did research in a few communities, And those 4 companies listed on those deeds are often still in business in our communities, or if they aren't, they've been acquired by another company that is in business. So we looked at some of these covenants in Charlottesville, Virginia, and the bank, the builder, the developer, and the realtor are all either still in business or have been acquired by another company that is in Charlottesville today. Many of these companies put statements on their website in 2020 after George Floyd's murder saying that they support Black Lives Matter, racial justice. So this is another thing we can do in our own communities is go back to those companies and say, look, if you really do support these aims and want to reconcile with your responsibility for creating the segregation of this community, you need to contribute to remedies, and one way they can do that is supporting a land trust.